Hello, good morning. Hello,
Good
everyone. Good
morning,
morning.
sir. Good morning, sir.
Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we have discussed about the Laplace transform and jet transform, very basic in the first lecture, and solve the sub examples, isn't it? Any doubt in the topic? If not,
No, sir.
we should proceed further. Take this example: g of t is equal to e to the power minus at and ft. Suppose it is given that the Laplace transform of f of t, Laplace transform of this f of t is f of s. Now if you multiply this f of t with an extra term, that is e to the power minus at, uh, and see what is the effect of multiplication. So you will find that in the Laplace domain, frequency will be shifted and Laplace transform will be f of s plus a. We can do this integration. What is the Laplace transform basic formula? Integration from minus infinity to plus infinity f of t e to the power minus at dt, isn't it? So multiply with e to the power minus at, whole function will be this term, e to the power minus at ft multiply with e to the power minus st and dt. Take the common in e to the power minus at and e to the power minus st. It will become e to the power minus s plus a into t dt. Integration from minus infinity to plus infinity. Now as already given that Laplace transform of ft is f of s. It means integration from minus infinity to plus infinity f of t e to the power minus at minus st dt is equal to the function f of s. This is basic given information. So from the given information you can conclude that this integration is the function of s plus a, and this will become s plus Laplace transform of e to the power minus at ft will be f of s plus a, given that Laplace transform of ft is f of s. Again if you multiply with another term, suppose e to the power at multiply with ft. Now what will be the Laplace transform of this term? It will become f of s minus a. So this is one property. If you can observe here that s term minus something, this a have also the same dimension as this f, isn't it? So you can conclude as frequency or the complex frequency is shifted when you multiply with an exponential term in time domain. So the name of the property we can say frequency shifting in Laplace transform. Now for the existence of this integration or this Laplace transform, there is a certain condition that this exponential term e to the power minus at should be such that this integration should be converging in nature. For that you have to take a limit that s plus a should not be negative. It should always be positive quantity, otherwise negative and extra negative is already here, so it will become rising in nature, exponentially increasing function, and integration of exponentially increasing function will not converge anywhere. So for the convergence of this integration you have taken condition that s plus a is greater than 0, and so this is called the region of convergence or ROC of this Laplace transform. For the similar e to the power at multiplied with ft, in this case ROC will be s minus a s minus a greater than 1, sorry, greater than 0. Basically, this would be real part of this term, because we only take the real part in the ROC. A is already a real quantity, and real part of S will be sigma. We can say real part of S minus A greater than 0, or the real part of S greater than A. This is the ROC for this term. And for this region of convergence will be real part of S greater than minus A. Same example can also be seen in discrete domain, discrete time signal. Consider a to the power n fn. Here a to the power n is multiplied with this function f of n, and see the effect of Z transform when you multiply this extra term. Try to solve. Basic given formula for this Z transform is function multiplied with Z to the power minus n. Here your when you multiply this a to the power n term with fn, total function will be this term. Now here again we take common a to the power n and Z to the power minus n, Z by a to the power minus n. Now see this and compare with the given conventional formula for Z transform, that summation from minus infinity to plus infinity f of n Z to the power minus n is equal to f of Z. By this given information we can say that this summation is of Z by a, function of Z by a. So the Z transform of a to the power n fn is f Z by a, and here region of convergence will be by checking the term in this infinite GP series, the term should be decreasing in nature. Term should be finally decreasing, means Z by a should be decreasing. So this is greater than 1, or you can also take the infinite GP series, what is Z by Z minus 1 when Z greater than 1. This condition is satisfied when this condition is taken, and Z by 1 minus Z is taken as a GP series, infinite GP series, when Z less than 1. By considering these two, you can also conclude the region of convergence of this GP series. Some example of the question here given, and solution is also given here. You can go through this. Now coming to the inverse Laplace transform. Conventional approach of this inverse Laplace transform. Inverse means what is the whatever the transform you get after taking the Laplace transformation, taking just reverse of that, means getting the actual function from the Laplace transformed function. Laplace transform of f of t is suppose f of s, then getting the time domain function from this frequency domain function. This is called inverse Laplace. It is defined as f of t is equal to 1 by 2 pi j integration, sorry here j is missing, sigma minus j omega to sigma plus j omega f of s e to the power st ds. Here you can see that from minus infinity to plus infinity is given for the frequency for omega part, and this sigma is taken as constant. That is, this sigma should lie in the range of ROC of this f of s. This is the basic concept. Suppose the ROC of this Laplace transform is like this. In axis you can see this real axis is sigma and imaginary axis is j omega. In general, region of convergence of Laplace transform is like a parallel strip, a rectangular strip or strip line, you can say, parallel to imaginary axis. Suppose this is the region of convergence defined as between sigma 1 to sigma 2, but in y direction in the imaginary axis it is from minus infinity to plus infinity. So sigma value in this integration is chosen in the range of this, from this to this, that is between this sigma 1 to sigma 2, any value is taken for this integration. So this conventional approach generally we are not used to find the inverse Laplace. We generally use some other technique because integration method is somewhat complex in nature. So we take another simple approach to solve this for inverse Laplace transform is partial fraction method. Suppose f of s is Laplace transform of any function f of t, and it is defined as the numerator function divided by denominator function of numerator polynomial. Suppose s to the power n an minus 1, s to the power n minus 1 plus and so on h0, and another denominator polynomial is defined as bn s to the power n plus bn minus 1 s to the power n minus 1 and so on b0. Like this is given for Laplace transform of any f of t. So by obtaining the factorization of this term denominator and numerator polynomial, we can obtain s minus p1, s minus p2, s minus p3 and so on. And for denominator polynomial, factorization term are s minus z1, s minus z2, s minus and so on, s minus z. Suppose s minus zn up to that term pn. By this factorization we can separate all the those terms to get the partial fraction individual, where a, b, c, all those constant terms can be find from this calculation. I think you have already studied in this topic in the mathematics some in previous semester, है ना? So you can, it is a very simple technique, you can find the value of a, b, c and all those terms and individually take the inverse Laplace from this, because these terms are very simple, है ना? Constant divided by s minus a, constant divided by s minus something, all the whole. Basically here two terms we can also define that you should know, that the root of this polynomial, n polynomial is numerator polynomial, the roots of numerator polynomial is defined as 0. It is called 0 of Laplace transform, 0 of Laplace transform, and the roots of roots of denominator polynomial is defined as poles of the transform of Laplace transform. And generally, the graphical representation of pole and zero is on the plane, that real part of S and the imaginary part of S. Pole is represented as a cross and zero is represented as bubble or zero self. Some of the property of pole and zero is also you can say is defined, that for the causality and stability purpose, causal and stability purpose, as already I have discussed the causality and stability in term of ROC, and here causality and stability is also defined for in term of poles. The location of pole in the plane as plane is if in the left hand side of j omega axis. Here I have plotted here the right hand side. It means the system is unstable. If you find the plot, if you are given some rational function of Laplace transform like this, system में दिया गया रहे, and you are able to find the location of pole and plot on the S plane, and it is from the left hand side of imaginary axis, anywhere in this, anywhere in the plane or the real axis, anywhere if it is left hand side, then the system is called stable system. Now using this concept, find the inverse Laplace transform of f of s is equal to 1 by s square, 1 by s square minus s minus 6. First of all, do the partial fraction. What will be the partial fraction of 1 by s square minus s minus 6? It will be like 1 by s minus 3 and s plus 2 can be factorized like this. After that, write in term of separate for individual factors, s minus 3 plus b by s plus 2. Find the value of a and b. A can be find like this. Here s minus 3 will get cancelled out, 1 by s plus 2, where s is equal to 3 is equal to 1 by, put the value of s equal to 3, it will become 1 by 5. B can be very easily calculated like this. 1 by s plus 2 get cancelled out, s minus 3 and s equal to minus 2. It will be 1 by minus 5. So a and b value is find like this: 1 by 5 divided by s minus 3 plus minus 1 by 5 divided by s plus 2. And from the previous knowledge of this Laplace transform, that 1 by s plus a और s minus a किसका होता है? ये Laplace transform, the function in time domain, e to the power at ut, e to the power at, because ut का Laplace transform क्या होता है? 1 by s, है ना? If you multiply this ut e to the power at, अभी डिस्कस किए थोड़ा देर पहले, what will be the function? Suppose this is f of s, तो इसके लिए क्या हो जाएगा? f of s minus a, है ना? तो 1 by s है तो 1 by s minus a हो जाएगा. तो you have to use this basic knowledge. Similarly, here you can find that 1 by 5 e to the power 3t qt plus minus 1 by 5 again e to the power minus 2t ut. But after you can write this, लेकिन जो ये मैथमेटिक्स में ये सब पढ़े होंगे, है ना? But the difference here in signal system that before writing all these terms, you have to check whether this term and this term lies in the same ROC or not. If this lies in the same ROC, then you can write the inverse Laplace transform. Suppose here total 4 possible Laplace transform exist depending upon the ROC, because in this Laplace transform here, in this question, ROC is not given, ROC not given. So you have to check that for what region these terms are in common, what common region lie for this existence of this Laplace transform. Suppose if this is causal, first term is, if this is causal term, causal signal, in that case ROC will be like what? ROC will be right sided ना, causal के लिए right sided होना चाहिए. तो real part of S should be greater than 3. Here 3 is a pole. General way, see, one common technique you can use to write ROC, if you are you have terms like this 1 by something pole, k by, suppose k by s minus pole. In that case, if you have this term, the ROC you can directly write, ROC can be written as real part of s greater than pole or a real part of s less than pole. Directly you can write. This is simple and short to write the ROC. Either real part greater than pole or real part less than pole. For what condition it will be greater than pole or it will be less than pole? If signal is considered as causal. Less than कब होगा? जब signal is considered as non-causal. So total, for first term, total you have 2 possibility for ROC. Similarly for 2 cases for this second term also, either causal or non-causal. If this is causal, then ROC will be the real part of S greater than minus 2, because in this term location of pole is S plus 2 is equal to 0, S is equal to minus 2, है ना? So location of pole is minus 2. If this is non-causal, then the real part of S should be less than minus 2. So total you have 4 possible combination of region of convergence इन दिस दो टर्म है टोटल, लेकिन 4 पॉसिबिलिटी है ROC का. For what region you can write the Laplace transform? Suppose consider real part of S is greater than 3 for the first term and real part of S, that is sigma, less than -2 for second term. In this consideration, try to plot the region of convergence. Try to plot the graphical representation of pole and zero of ROC. If you plot this, sigma greater than 3 is anywhere in the real axis here. Greater than 3 means from this 3 this direction, and sigma -2 anywhere here, -2 less than -2 means either. In this ROC you can see both ROC are separated, not overlapping in nature. It means no common ROC exists for this. So this is not the possible for taking the inverse Laplace of this signal. Rest other 3, if sigma greater than 2 and sigma greater than -2, if sigma less than -3 and sigma less than -2. Suppose I think it's sigma 1 and sigma 2 for 2 terms actually here, sigma 1 sigma 2, sigma 1 sigma 2, sigma 1 sigma 2. In all these 3 cases there will be some common overlapping of regions. Plot this first term, first ROC is plotted like this. See this, sigma greater than 3. Suppose this is 3, sigma greater than 3 in this direction, sigma greater than -2. -2 will be like here, anywhere greater than 2 means either. So you can see sigma greater than -2 से स्टार्ट होकर इस डायरेक्शन में इनफाइनाइट तक, एंड सिग्मा ग्रेटर देन 3 starting from 3 and in this direction. So from 3 there will be overlapping start and it will go up to infinite. 3 से लेकर infinity तक there is a common region of convergence, and both the term is right, both the ROC is right sided in nature. So the terms, both the regions, both the signals are causal. Both the signals are causal. And for this region of convergence, if you plot this region of convergence, the Laplace transform, inverse Laplace transform of the signal will be that we have already written that, e to the power 3t ut plus minus 1/5 e to the power -2t ut. Here ut you can see that this is right sided signal, ut right sided signal, this is causal. In this region of convergence there will not exist any inverse Laplace transform. Take third case. Region of convergence is sigma 1 less than 3. 3 is here, and sigma less than 3 will be this, from -infinity up to 3. Sigma less than -2 is here, sigma less than -2 means from -infinity to -2. So you can see that overlapping of this region is from -2 to -infinity. In this region overlapping, and both the region of convergence is left sided in nature. Both the ROC is left sided in nature. So both the signal are non causal. Both the signal are non causal. So the inverse Laplace transform of this f of s will be that already we have obtained that 1 by 5 divided by s minus 3 minus 1 by 5 divided by s plus 2. Now this term is non-causal, this term is also non-causal, means you have to write this term in term of u of minus t. In that you can say that signal should be left-handed in nature. Signal should be left-handed. What will be the signal? 1 by 5 is constant, and this term e to the power 3 t and the u of minus t. But here one extra minus will come, that you have already I think one example you should recall, that 1 by s का Laplace inverse u of minus t स्क्वायर होता, और 1 by s का Laplace transform u of t. Yeah, you can say that u of t का Laplace transform 1 by s minus u of minus t का Laplace transform 1 by s. But in this case, this is non-causal, this is causal. That is, in this case, sigma less than 0 is region of convergence, and in this case, sigma greater than 0 is the region of convergence. This is the difference already in the we have discussed in the previous lecture. So take an extra negative if you consider that this is non-causal. That here I have take, I can take here extra negative so that it can be written like the non-causal signal. Here also this term is non-causal according to this given region of convergence. So take extra negative and given negative, this will be positive 1 by 5 e to the power minus 2t u of minus t. So this is the inverse Laplace transform of given f of s, but in this region of convergence. Here this is also the inverse Laplace transform, but in this region of convergence. You have one more region of convergence, that is ROC4. You can also write the inverse Laplace transform of this region of convergence. Now you can imagine that total, already I think all of know better that inverse Laplace transform, but in mathematics there is only one Laplace transform. But if here see this f of s, you have total 3 inverse Laplace transform is possible, because the 3 distinct region of convergence. So this is major difference that you should keep in mind in mathematics Laplace transform and signal system Laplace transform. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ें. Check this fourth region of convergence by yourself. Now you should be able to understand all these things. So here one conclusion you can draw, that total number of inverse Laplace transform will exist, that will equal to the total number of region of convergence. That will equal to the total number of boundary, total number of separation plus 1. That will also equal to the total number of distinct pole plus 1. If all pole are real, this is condition that if all pole are real, because sometime complex pole will also possible. In that case, complex pole will lie in conjugate in nature, and this will consider as one itself. दो pole है लेकिन consider होगा एक ही. But when one pole is given, that in this case it will come on the real axis, and this will count as 1. So if you plot the pole location of any given rational function, it comes like this. Here total how many boundary? This is one boundary, this is one boundary, two boundary plus one. Or in other word, this is one region of convergence, this is another region of convergence, this is another region of convergence. Or in other word, you can say the number of pole is 1 here, and this is, since this is in conjugate pair, so it is count also 1 and plus 1, total 3. So this is the total possible inverse Laplace transform that is possible for the signal. See this question, f of s is equal to 1 by s minus 7 to the power 3 into s plus 3 into s minus 2 to the power 5. Find the number of possible inverse Laplace transform. How many inverse Laplace transform is possible for this signal? To find this, you can plot the pole geolocation. This is real axis sigma, imaginary axis j omega. Here s minus 7 to the power 3 means 3 number of pole is located at 7. Here 3 7 is here. 3 poles are located at this point. S plus 3 means here 1 pole is located at minus 3. S minus 2 to the power 5. 2 पे कितना होगा 5 पोल होगा 1 2 3 4 5. Total you can see that for this pole 1 boundary, for this pole here 1 boundary, for this pole here 1 boundary. Total 1 2 3 4. 3 boundary plus 1 is equal to 4, or directly you can say that 4 region. So total number of Laplace transform will be 4. I think all the question now you will be able to solve. Very easily you can find these questions. Now coming to the property of Laplace transform. First of all, see the Laplace both properties for Laplace transform as well as jet transform in general common in nature, so no need to discuss separately. I think the concept is same. Whatever the integration, that will convert it to the summation. For jet transform, all these are linear operator. Suppose f of t, suppose f1 t, Laplace transform of f1t is f1s, and Laplace transform of f2t is f2s. If this you can say the linearity property, for the linearity, if you multiply this f1 with a, that will directly reflect here multiplied with a. If you multiply it with some other term b, it will directly reflect as b. Now this scaling of any signal in time, that will same scaling factor reflect in the frequency domain also. This is called homogeneity principle. This is called homogeneity principle. Homogeneity principle. And if you take the addition of this a f1 t plus b f2t, the Laplace transform of this term, will be a f1s plus b f2s, and this is called superposition. To satisfy the linearity condition, homogeneity as well as superposition, both conditions should satisfy. Then we will say the term is linear. Laplace transform generally follows linearity principle. Laplace transform is a linear operator. It is linear in nature. So take the example. Suppose u of t Laplace transform is 1 by s. Laplace transform of u of t is 1 by s. Now multiplied with e to the power at, already discussed, e to the power at will be shifted in frequency, that is 1 by s minus a. If you multiplied with another phasor, this is another one exponential term, but another exponential term like this imaginary term, e to the power j omega t and ut. What will be the Laplace transform of this term? S minus j omega. If you multiply with e to the power minus j omega t ut, the Laplace transform will be 1 by s plus j omega. Now put this equation 1 and equation 2 and add equation 1 and equation 2. Because it is here, I think you can correlate this term, e to the power exponential term, e to the power minus j omega t, another term we have multiplied in time domain, and take the Laplace transform and add, means this is basically homogeneity. This is homogeneity principle. This, if you add this term in time domain, that e to the power j omega t ut and plus e to the power minus j omega t ut, the Laplace transform will also added 1 by s minus j omega divided by 1 by s plus j omega. Now you can take the common in this two term ut, take the common. What will be the term? If you take common, that will e to the power j omega t plus e to the power minus j omega t into ut, and in right hand side take the sum of two fractional term, s square plus omega square, or s plus j omega plus s minus j omega. If you multiplied with 2 and divide with 2, these two terms, then you can say this whole term will be equivalent to cos omega t, 2 into cos omega t ut, and here j omega minus j omega will cancel out, 2s divided by s square plus omega square. Here 2 get cancelled out, cos omega t ut Laplace transform will be s divided by s plus omega square. So you can see that Laplace transform of any signal, any another signal, can be also obtained from the using of basic signal u of t and applying some property. Basic signal के यदि पता है and you can apply some property, you can find the Laplace transform of some other signal. No need to calculate by always through the conventional approach, that integration of any function multiplied with e to the power minus s t dt. ये इंटीग्रेशन हमेशा सॉल्व करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You can also find by applying some properties. If you take equation 1 minus equation 2, this equation 1 minus equation 2 and divide by 2j, you will find that sine omega naught t ut and the Laplace transform will be omega divided by s square plus omega square. So this is the application of linearity principle, and we can use this type of technique to find the Laplace transform of some another signal. Laplace transform in Z domain, similar concept you can apply here also. This is linearity principle is satisfied if this is following the homogeneity as well as superposition principle. Suppose that u of n Z transform will be Z by Z minus 1 and multiplied with a to the power n, it will become Z by Z minus a. Recall the previous property, u of n का क्या था, लैप्लास ट्रांसफॉर्म ऑफ z यदि लिखते हैं तो a to the power n un का f z by a है ना, ये f of n सॉरी ये f of n। तो un के लिए क्या लिख सकते हैं, un के लिए z by z minus a लिखते हैं, या इसको 1 by z के फॉर्म में लिखो तो 1 by z by a। वन बाय वन माइनस a to the power n un, z transform will be z by z minus a, you can find. Similarly, here also we can apply with another exponential term e to the power j omega naught t, j omega naught n multiplied with ufn. So the z transform will be z by z minus e to the power j omega. If you multiply with another phasor with negative omega, this will be e to the power minus z minus z e to the power minus j omega. Same concept, add take the addition of two individual terms and find the total effect. See, you will see that it cos omega naught n, sum of these two terms e to the power j omega naught e to the power j omega naught n plus e to the power minus j omega naught divided by 2 multiplied with 2 un. This term is cos omega naught n un. And in right hand side, these two terms, take the addition, you will get that z square minus 2z, z square minus z cos omega naught divided by z square minus 2z cos omega naught plus 1. Otherwise, to find the z transform of cos omega naught n un, it will be quite complex. Find the z transform of this term by conventional technique, you will not able to find the z transform easily. So this is the important property that you should apply to calculate some complex function. Another property is time reversal property. Time reversal property, if z transform of f of n is fz, then z transform of f of minus n will be f of 1 by z. This is in discrete signal. For discrete signal, that is z transform. For continuous time signal, if Laplace transform of f of t is f of s then Laplace transform of minus t is f of minus s. You can also prove this very simple technique, and I think proof is not important, but you should apply this property to find some another signal transformation. Some another property of multiplication with t for Laplace transform, or the multiplication with n for discrete time domain signal. Suppose f of t Laplace transform is f of s, then if you multiply this function with time t, f of t, what is the Laplace transform of this signal? If you multiplied the signal in time domain with t, the effect in frequency domain will be derivative in nature, differentiated. It will be differentiated. If you multiplied with t square term with f of t, then Laplace transform will be second derivative. That it means derivative of this term again. एक माइनस है, फिर से एक माइनस आ जाएगा, तो माइनस वन का होल स्क्वायर, इट विल बिकम प्लस एफ स्क्वायर डी स्क्वायर एफ स्क्वायर डी एस स्क्वायर. If you multiplied with t cube ft, take again derivative of this term, means as you multiply with increasing the power of t, you have to increase the derivative order. Minus 1 to the power 3 d of 3 f of s t of 3. Similar example, to prove this, you can use the Laplace transform of u of t is 1 by s, region of convergence is sigma greater than 0 or real s greater than 0. If you multiplied with t, the signal, that is t ut, Laplace transform will be derivative of this term. Differentiate this d by ds 1 by s. This will equal to 1 by s square, and take extra ek minus, and here also minus, this will become plus. If you multiply with t square into ut, take this derivative, take this term and differentiate this. Minus is taken out. Differentiation of 1 by s square is equal to minus 2 by s cube, and minus, and here also minus plus 2 by s cube. A general term you can conclude that multiplied with t to the power n, means multiplied with t to the power n with any signal ut, it will equal to n factorial divided by s to the power n plus 1. You can correlate this term, see this s cube, here s square, here s. So यहाँ पे डिफ्रेंशिएट नहीं करते हैं तो s का पावर 1 है, एक बार मल्टीप्लाई किए हैं तो पावर 2 हो गया. यहाँ पे t से क्यूब 3 बार मल्टीप्लाई किए हैं तो s भी 3 बार मल्टीप्लाई हो जाएगा. इस तरह से इफ यू increase the power of n, it will also increase the power of s. And again, if you are differentiating the whole term, this power will go at the coefficient, again power 4 will get at the coefficient, so the magnitude or the coefficient will also increasing by factorial term. So keep this in mind to use further example, to solve the further examples. Similarly, here also you can use Laplace Z transform, same thing. Z transform of Z is Fn is Fz, and if you multiply it with n, it will be the derivative of Fz, but multiplied with minus z. Use this example to understand this. Suppose u of n, Z transform is Z by Z minus 8. If you multiply it with n into un, means you have to take the derivative of this term and multiply it with minus z. Again, if you multiply it with n square in z domain, multiply it with minus z and take the derivative of this term. So as the order of increasing in and in time domain the order of derivative you have to take increase in z domain. Here some example is given. Please solve this example and you will better understand to apply this concept, how to use this technique to solve some other questions. I think now we should stop and we will further discuss some questions and some other more concept in the next lecture. Thank you. If anyone have any kind of doubt, please you can ask now. No doubt? Should I leave?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.